The regular Eveleth City Council meeting scheduled for 7 p.m. September 20th, 2016 will now come to order. Roll call.
Councillor Hogue.
Here.
Councillor Koivunen.
Here.
Councillor Lillis.
Here.
Councillor Hadrava.
Here.
Mayor Vaisalovich.
Here. Approval of minutes, City Council workshop, September 6th. Approval of City Council meeting, September 6th, and the minutes of City Council workshop, September 19th. No one has any changes or additions. Call for a motion that we approve the minutes of those meetings. So moved. Motion made by Koivunen. Do I have a support?
Support.
Support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of tonight's agenda. Anybody have anything to add under new business? I wasn't sure. If not, I'll call for a motion that we approve the agenda as it is printed with no additional changes. So moved. Motion made by Koivunen. Do I have support?
Support.
Support by Hogue. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Appointments and presentations, we have none. If anyone from the audience would like to address the council at this time, we'll allow 5 minutes and allow additional time after the meeting. And we'll move on to the consent agenda. Approval of payroll, August 16th to the 31st. Approval of agreement between the City of Eveleth and Colosimo, Patchen and Kearney for 2017 through 2018 legal services, and request from the police chief to sell forfeited vehicles. Anybody have any questions or comments on those 3 items?
Chief, on little Ford Ranger, is that usable?
Chief wants a new vehicle for the police department.
You start keeping some of that
Probably
stuff,
a good answer, Chief.
trouble.
Undercover vehicle.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Any further discussion? Call for a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion made by Lillis. Do I have support?
Support.
Support by Drava. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. No public hearings tonight. We have no unfinished business. Under new business, item J1. Resolution establishing proposed tax for year 2017. General levy $1,530,417 with a special levy of $136,030. Special levy, that is tax abatement, $6,659 for a total of $1,673,106 for the 2017-2018 year. No one has any questions? Can I have a motion that we adopt this preliminary levy for next year?
So moved.
Motion made by Hogue. There's support.
I'll support it.
Support by Drava. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Set a date for public hearing to discuss proposed tax budget for year 2017. Got to be done before the end of the year, 28th of December. So, time and place, I know a little concern was accessibility of council chambers. What's everybody's thoughts?
Well, Mayor, I would think December 6th up at the Hockey Hall of Fame, if that would be amenable.
We'll set a time before the meeting. Because, yeah, that's the only concern I've got, the accessibility. We usually don't have a lot of people coming to the meeting, but this is a lot tough here.
Did you say 6 o'clock up there and we'll start down here at 7?
Yeah.
That doesn't give us a workshop.
We'll have everything all figured out.
We'll have it all figured out here. You'll have to think on the fly that night.
Yeah. Might be a good debate.
Okay, that will be December 6th. at 6 o'clock at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Can I have a motion that we set that as our meeting date?
So moved.
Motion made by Lillis, do I have support?
I'll support.
Support by Hoag, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 3, easement conveyance of lands in section 29, Township 58, North Range 17, West, Minnesota Power for underground transmission lines.
So, Mayor and Council, that is the item we talked about at the workshop that isn't quite ready to go, so you can just take that off the list for tonight, and we'll have it ready for the 4th.
Okay, we'll just put that under unfinished business then? Item number 4, pay request number 2 from 3D Concrete and Construction in an amount of $10,052.66 for 2016 sidewalk replacement. Do we spend all of 40 grand, Jerry, this year?
We're getting close, we have about 2,000 left that we're just finishing up some bad tripping hazards around town, so we're a few patches here and there.
I wonder if they're gonna, county gonna have a program like that next year, I wonder?
I hope so.
But that really helped.
Yeah. They gave us 10,000 this year to do the saw roads. We did a whole block over in West Eveleth that's been needing it for years. Worked out really well.
And I wonder when they do 101 from Grant all the way to 7. I wonder if those sidewalks along there, I imagine, would qualify if they go with that funding again.
They qualify, yeah. As long as they're on a saw road, they qualify.
Okay.
Would those automatically get done anyway?
I don't know if they have that in their plans. I thought they were just gonna be.
Because those,
It came out so bad.
because there's trees on boulevards there.
Is that a major reconstruct? No.
No, I think they're
Just gonna mill it? Yeah. What they're doing, I think they started the railroad crossing this week or yesterday.
Yeah, I was there today, I saw it's closed, the road's closed, and
The road's closed.
they did not have a detour to go down Matson's Road
Well, they said
around?
they weren't gonna detour, and I mentioned it at the last council meeting, they said they weren't detouring, but they were putting signs up before, when you just came out of town here, that it's supposed to lose traffic on both ends. So, they said they're pretty hard to detour, you have to go all the way around Iron Harbor.
Well, a lot
So
of,
you
by
go-
getting
they can't-
the
isn't Matson's Road a county road?
Yeah, but I don't know if they want that many people traveling.
the whole thing is, we're familiar with it, but yeah, how many other people are? That's the
right.
But they did, there were, public notices also.
Did we, pass the motion to pay 3D?
I'll make
Do we have a motion or a second? Oh, you're gonna make the motion?
that motion.
Motion made by Hoag, pay 3D Concrete. You have a support?
I'll support it.
Support by Hadrava. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Number 5, donation request from Range Mental Health. And what are they looking for?
I didn't see a number on
Does this fit our,
Yeah, that's
Yes.
my question.
here. I didn't see a number.
Mayor, I'd move that we donate $100 as consistent with last year's.
Oh,
request.
okay, because I wasn't familiar with this one. Okay.
I'll support it.
You making that a motion, Brian?
Yes, sir.
Motion made by Lillis to donate $100, support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Number 5, ground lease agreement with Verizon Cellular Tower Site, assessment project in Eveleth. And they actually gonna go with that site then?
So I sent this agreement to Verizon some time ago, and they're a big bureaucracy, so it's taking some time to get through. And I just told the representative that I was gonna have you guys approve it. Yes, they're still interested in that site in West Eveleth.
Oh, okay.
And this allows them some access to do this preliminary work.
Oh, okay.
Where's this site at?
It's on the west side of 18.
Okay.
That's, what does that lease come to, what, 12 grand a year, something like that?
That's 1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And that
for an
should
empty
really
spot, that's not
should
bad.
improve our cell phone service
Oh,
remarkably here.
definitely.
And plus it's out there in the
We're kind
toolies.
of, we're in tough shape some areas of town with Verizon.
Yes, we are. No one has any questions, call for a motion and we approve this ground lease agreement with Verizon Cellular.
So moved.
Motion made by Koivunen, do I have support?
I'll support it for 12,000 a year.
Support by Drava. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried. City support application for demolition of 507 and 511 Grant Ave in Eveleth. Which are Bill's Audio and Tunas. And these are the demo estimates here.
So, I was looking at this. We're accepting this right now, or what?
No, so what happened was, we talked about this at a couple of workshops, and I
Yeah.
had it reviewed, and it's pretty cost prohibitive to demo it down to just the lower level. As you can see, the difference between $395 to demo to $782 to do a partial demo. So what happened was I made the application to IRRB along with all the other applications I did, and the IRRB folks turned that over and made that a county application, okay? So the county has now officially applied to demo 507 and 511. And it's going through the IRRB process, and the goal is that the county would use their demo and economic development and blight dollars to take that down. And then when it's all removed, then they will sell the land to the city.
We are talking taking it right down to the ground.
Yes.
Well, you got the foundations there you could salvage, like we're talking about.
Okay.
Well, no,
Well, not if they take it right there,
They're
won't be
taking to
nothing
the
there.
ground.
It'll be,
that's,
It'll be just 2 holes in the ground again.
yeah, that's my big,
I know, but
Problem
so
with this.
I went down that road multiple times with them, and they're not interested in paying $400 extra to do a partial demo. See, because the estimate is $395 to demo the whole thing, and $782 to do a partial demo. Because they actually, the memo talks about some structural work that would need to be done, so.
well,
So they're just asking,
Don't get too excited here, because I'll look at the specs there myself. Well, we gotta get the money. You gotta get the money. Because once we got them here, and then we can get creative.
I like your style.
You know what, I'll make a motion as long as we do that, and we can, because I still would like to save them basements.
I just don't want another lot in town.
2 lots,
Truly, yeah, what are we talking?
because both them basements are still all right.
Right.
I mean,
Lots there.
the
Yeah.
Tuna's building's gotta be 60 feet wide.
It's at least
Probably.
50 to 16, it's
And-
in deep, probably
You know, it's gonna be,
120 deep.
they're talking
deep there.
50 by 110.
Actually, there's probably almost 3 lots there.
Yeah.
so.
And the
No,
Bill's audio has gotta be 100, or 75 feet, it's bigger yet.
once you get those buildings down, the whole perspective, then you can see what you've got. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know how bad those buildings are, once you get them out of there, then you get a vision for that space, how we wanna do this, you know, what we can do. But first you gotta get the money, you get them down.
Jack, do you have any idea, with this proposal, would this be to, the full demolition, would that be to bring it back up to grade again?
yes, bring
Yes.
it back up to grade, yes.
What you'd have is a slope going down there.
Right.
Maybe there'd be something out there how we can do some creative financing about maybe putting up a strip mall of some sort there to cover them lots, so we could put some office space or something, and I'm just throwing this out there, maybe, you know,
Well-
attract a lawyer or attract somebody, a couple of them into town, you know, maybe a shoe store, I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
Well,
Yeah,
you can always make something with underground parking again if you did that.
Because
You
we
know what I
don't
mean?
wanna
Like,
see any more empty buildings in town.
But you gotta do something with them, and once they start, we can get some ideas, once we see what we have. But to get the funding secured, that's the main thing.
Yep.
Well, I guess let's secure the funding and then we'll see where we can
And then
go
we'll
with
see
that.
what we can come up
I
with.
think we can always cancel it. It's our choice.
So I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Koivunen to submit the application. Do I have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Hadrava. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, that takes care of new business. We have anything from any commissions or committee reports? Anything going on? Looks like we're moving ahead with the fire department talks with Fail, our workshop this morning, so we can get that going. And you're going to get a hold of Gilbert, Jack, and tell him that we're proceeding. Because I think the sooner we start getting together with that, the better it's going to be. Because I know the crews are anxious. We'll start talking about that, how we can merge the two services. Getting smaller and smaller. Brian, you got anything to bring up? Or
I don't.
nothing tonight?
No.
Joe, you got anything to add?
No, there's not much going on, really.
No, that we're back on our regular schedule,
Yeah.
2 a month. Brian, you got anything to?
Just a question for Jerry, that alley cleanup. Are we underway with that? No, I guess I've forgotten.
Yeah, that started on Monday, and it'll run
Okay.
4 weeks. Starting next week, we'll have our late shift open until 6 o'clock
Okay, and how's the turnout?
next week. It's been good so far. We're full on 3 dumpsters already.
Oh.
Back the heck out of them. Have to get 3 new ones for tomorrow already. So
I brought
Excellent.
pretty good. Good crowd.
For the folks that aren't aware, yeah, if you have something to dispose of, for the next 3.5 weeks roughly, you can take it down to the city garage area and dispose of it there for no charge, with some exception. Televisions and so forth.
Yeah, paint cans, if they have paint, we can't bring those down. Railroad ties, we don't paint.
Appliances you take down there?
Appliances, we do paint.
Oh, okay.
You have to have a Eveleth residence. To be able to dump your stuff there, so, and you do check.
Well, that's good.
Thank you, Jerry.
Anything else, Brian?
No, sir.
Brad, you got anything to?
No, it's a slow time of the year right at the moment. Except congratulations to the Bull and Bear football team for a fine expedition against our neighboring city, and job well done.
Steph, you got anything to bring up?
They will talk about elections.
Oh, okay. See, it's tricky, I got Steph first this time.
So voters can pre-register for the general election until October 18th. They can pre-register. And they would need to do that if they have moved or if they have not voted in the last 4 years. You can pre-register online, go right to the city website. We have a link that will take you to the Minnesota Secretary of State. Otherwise, you can just stop by City Hall and we have the paperwork here. Of course, you can register on election day and just make sure that you bring proper ID with you. And the other thing is that absentee voting is set to begin this Friday, September 23rd. If you are not planning to be at the polls on November 8th, you can request that a ballot be mailed to you. And otherwise, you can stop by City Hall and you can vote in person.
Chief, you got anything to bring up?
Nothing,
Jerry, you got anything else for us? Rod, you got anything for us, sir?
Nothing unless you have any questions.
I think we're good. Jackie? Doug?
Nothing?
Wow. Okay, then now I'm gonna, I don't wanna sound like a broken record here, but first of all, I'd like to compliment the residents of this community and the city crews for cleaning up that mess we had from that storm. I think there's a tree down on every street in town. But everybody jumped in, people had chainsaws going, the city crews got everything taken care of, and there's some big timber that went down. It's nice to see everybody work together as a team in the community and got everything going, streets cleared, and the crew picking up all those cut up trees and everything. Just unbelievable, that windstorm. I've got one issue I'm gonna talk about a little bit and get everybody's feedback. You know, the blight situation. I mentioned with the chief, the bulk of the blight problem is with the rentals. We have, especially the absentee landlords. And they're in violation of blight. They're usually the bad ones, taxes, utilities. and I'm gonna meet with, our county commissioner, Keith Nelson. I think if those facilities are not in compliance with the local ordinances and behind on their taxes, they should be exempt from Section 8 housing funds until they come into compliance. Because why should the good property owners who maintain their properties have to compete with these bums? They don't live here. You should see these places, a hole in the picture window, they got a rag and 2 boards blocking it. Imagine a heat loss, that's unsafe. And the neighbors are upset. It's just disgusting, depressing to look at that. If they don't want to do their part, the only way to hit them is in the wallet. That's the only thing they understand. You know, they don't care about the fines because they're immaterial. But I'm sure if the county withheld their funds until they came into compliance with local ordinances, and this isn't an Eveleth problem, this is all over. Maybe you'd get their attention if they weren't eligible for those funds. It's not fair to the people who are recipients of those funds to have to live in some of those places. They're paying decent rent, they should have a decent place because most of them are families. Like I say, and it's not fair to the good ones who are in compliance with all the ordinances, pay their taxes, and keep a decent looking property. And I'm gonna set up a meeting with Keith and talk to him and maybe pass a resolution for the county board and go meet with the board. I think that's the only thing you can do, is cut their funding off, wake them up. It's getting to the point where those are the problem properties. You know, you got a few homeowners, you always do, but when you tell them, they come into line, except one that took 14 years. Get that one straightened up, but he's come around. Like I say, they don't realize they take care of it, but you got the same ones, they're just a blight on the community, and you're better off not to even have them here, if that's the way they're gonna be. Say it's not fair to the taxpayers or the people living in those buildings. When you're paying decent rent, they should have a decent place to live. Not worried about if the utility bill is paid, things like that. Windows falling out, I mean, a broken window, I've never seen nothing like it. A rag shoved, double pane window, and a board on the other window, on the other side of the house. But that's all my grousing for tonight on that one, so.
Well, I would support any action.
Because I want to talk with Keith first, because the county might be making some efforts towards that end, and get a resolution, and I'd like to go to the board meeting and kind of tell them our problems, because everybody's got the same problem. And if they withhold their funding, it's going to be a boon to everybody. Either they come in the line or get out of the rental business, and let the professionals and the good ones get the tenants. Well, that's about all I have. Anybody from the audience have anything? If not, I'll adjourn the meeting.